Off we go. It's the Ryan Hartson Show on the BWC Network. I am Ryan Hartson. On the program today, it's a Monday, so you know what that means. We are breaking down every big topic in the National Football League in less than 15 minutes. That starts right now. Monday Night Madness a little bit later. But let's get started. Week 3 thoughts. I've got, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got like 14. I have 14 thoughts on the National Football League. Last week I had 18, so this week I had 14. Obviously, a lot of them come from the whole Michael Vick Philadelphia Eagles thing that we will talk about, and we will get into that. But let's start. The Buffalo Bills, to me, look like the real deal. Man, did I strike out on that one, huh? I show up, oh, New England, they're going to come in and they're going to kill them. And of course, because I said it, they make me look stupid. And they took care of Tom Brady and the Patriots. And I always say this. When the facts change, your opinion has to. You can't just keep going with the same old crap if you're just blatantly wrong. And I was blatantly wrong on Buffalo. Okay? Now, I've heard some people say this today, really, oh, but the Bills, it's still just the Bills, and, kind of what I've been saying. But with the first two games, I get it. Like, I said the same thing. Like, no, they're not for real. I mean, they beat Kansas City and Oakland. Not impressive. Oakland, the win looks a little more impressive now, number one. Number two, they beat New England. I don't care how you beat a team. I really don't. I really don't. I don't care how you beat a team, as long as you win the game. As long as you have more points than the other team when the game is over, that is what I look at. That is the biggest thing. Did you win the football game? But Tom Brady made... No. There are no excuses, or there are no reasons. I don't care. There are situations. It is how you deal with situations. Because in this league, even if you get opportunities, you have to make the most of your opportunities. Yes, the Patriots couldn't get out of their own way. But if the Bills were inept like they used to be, and didn't go down and score touchdowns, that's on them. When they give you an opportunity, you have to make the most of it. That's the NFL, making the most of your opportunities. It's not making mistakes. It's making fewer mistakes than the other team and taking advantage of the other team's mistakes at times. And that's what Buffalo did. That's a sign of a really good football team. When the Patriots start messing up, you just go and you take care of business. And that's what the Bills did. They are the real deal. They will be around all year. Are they a playoff team? Looks like it. It looks like it. To me, hey, Fitzpatrick is really, really good. He's got some nice weapons. That defensive line is fierce. A lot of things to like in Buffalo. To the flip side of that, though, the Patriots' defense is alarming. I have a lot of questions about the Patriots defensively. Belichick has got to get it going. I mean, the Patriots cannot continue to play bad defense and expect to win games. 31 points and you lose the football game. That's it. When are the Patriots going to start playing defense? You have to show up. You have to do that. So I have questions. When are the Patriots going to man up and play defensively? I will reflect that in my power rankings tomorrow. The New York Jets also have defensive issues. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the run in Oakland. Darren McFadden, 171 yards against the New York Jets. 171 yards for Darren McFadden. They ran for 200-something yards as a football team. So the Jets have to be better. They have to be better defensively. Sanchez was there. Sanchez played okay. He made a couple mistakes. The Jets look pretty good. Defensively, they have some problems stopping the run. You wouldn't expect it from a Rex Ryan defense. And do you think... Do you think Ray Rice from Rutgers is going to have something to say about running the ball a little bit next Sunday night? I'm just saying. That's the game of the week next week. All right. On the flip side of that, the Oakland Raiders are 100% the real deal. They look like a real team. They're big. They're physical. They run the football. Jason Campbell has to do just enough, and they can make the playoffs. Are they a Super Bowl contender? Hell no. Are they a playoff contender? Absolutely. Mainly it's because those San Diego Superchargers, not so super. The Baltimore Ravens, the team that I accidentally said, they look to be back on track, 21-0 after the first quarter against St. Louis. The Rams are a disaster. Joe Flacco got back on track, looked like he played a little better. How are you going to do against the Jets now? So now we got a show-me game. You're playing a fellow AFC contender. What have you got? So Baltimore, hold off another week until we say how good or not good they are. They look to be very good. The Jets game will be very telling in a week from now. Now, let's get to the Philadelphia Eagles, who, to me, are alarming on a variety of levels. Mike Vick is inaccurate and choppy, at sometimes a head case, and I thought that was their only problem. Forgive me. Their offensive line is terrible. They can run the ball okay, which is good. They can't stop the run. The linebackers are undersized and bad, and the secondary looks to be terrible. And all you did was bring in corners in the offseason. So, this leads me to what I told everyone in the offseason, preseason. Early, the Eagles are going to struggle, and they are. They are struggling. Now, Mike Vick is hurt, bruised hand, not broken, so he might miss next week, he might not. That's not important for now. So, the Eagles are in a lot of trouble. Eagles are in a ton of trouble. How good are they going to be down the stretch? I have no idea. To me, I think they're going to get it together later in the season, but for right now, a lot of problems, a lot of stuff they need to clean up. They will be better in the second half of the season when Asamoah and Rogers Cromartie and Ronnie Brown and all the new guys kind of figure it out. That is when they will be good, but right now, not so much. Quickly, Michael Vick's comments. He said basically, I don't get the calls other people do, and I should get those calls. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem at all. Here's why. I love it when athletes are honest. I mean, he stood up there and said, listen, I'm getting my ass kicked out there. There's not a lot I can do. I don't feel like it the calls. It's just how I feel. I'm not complaining. I'm just pointing it out, which is fine. I mean, does it sound bad? Yeah, and I get why everybody's jumping on him, but I'm not going to. I love it when athletes are honest because it gets everybody all fired up, and I don't care. Say whatever you want. Say what you feel. That's that's why we're here. So, Vick's comments, not a problem. And I think he used that to call out the offensive line. Because honestly, he just called him out. Like, dude, let's go. Offensive line, play better. Because they can't protect him. And if you can't protect Mike Vick, who's going to run around a lot anyway, it's interesting. And the officials don't pay attention to Michael Vick as much because he's a scrambler. So when he's in trouble, they don't look for a penalty. They just go, oh, he's just going to spin out of it. It'll be fine. And that doesn't happen all the time. So maybe that's why he's not getting some of the calls. And I think he's also right. I think there are some calls he doesn't get because the officials think, oh, he's just going to get out. He'll slip out of it. It's fine. And then they stop paying attention. Because, officials are human beings behaving humanly like the rest of us. So you would think, if you understand a tendency, you're not going to pay as close attention, which is what happens. And, it's not a big deal. It's just why the referees don't pay attention. Should they pay more attention? Absolutely, but they're not. But that's because they're humans following tendencies. That's what everybody does. So it's not that big a deal, really. It's a big deal when Mike Vick's career ends from, a torn ACL after getting, ripped in half. But, yeah, not that big a deal. Humans behaving humanly. Referees are just like the rest of us, despite us wanted to call them out. I'm not going to do it. I think they're doing fine. There are some calls that suck, but hey, it's not that big a deal. The Chicago Bears are going to be around all year, maybe. That offensive line is really bad. The rest of the team is okay. Who knows? I think they're going to be around all year. They're going to have something to say about the NFC North down the stretch because the Bears are like that fungus. They never go away, and they're just annoying. The Green Bay Packers, champs, looking like the champs. Aaron's hot. The defense starting to play a little better. And they get Denver at home next week, so la-di-da, 4-0 for the defending Super Bowl champions. I said if Houston played well in New Orleans, I would call them the real deal. They played excellent in New Orleans. They lost because Drew Brees is awesome in the fourth quarter. And so Texans are for real. That defense is going to come along. They should have no trouble with that division considering, it's the worst division in football. On the flip side of that game, the New Orleans Saints look to be a powerhouse. That defense has some issues. Similar to Dom Capers, Greg Williams will figure it out. Not worried. San Diego Chargers struggled against the Chiefs. I'm worried about them. I said they're not a Super Bowl contender until that defense shows me. Matt Castle had a bit of a day there. So, and with no Jamal Charles, and the Chiefs still scored, 17 points? So, concerning. The Chiefs, or the Chargers rather, have a few more issues. We know the Chiefs are bad. The Chargers have a few more issues than we thought maybe through that week 1 game against Minnesota. But the Chargers in a little bit of trouble. Okay, I'm going to list off some teams here. And what you're going to do with these teams is scratch them off the list of contenders, and I'm not going to talk about them anymore until they do something strange or awesome. The Broncos, the Titans, the Bengals, the Jaguars, and the Panthers. Scratch them all off. They're bad. They're going to play each other. Stay away from them. Some of these teams are even 2-1. Like, don't pay attention. Eventually, they're just going to fall back. And you know they're going to fall back. Like the Eagles. Everyone's like, oh my God, the Eagles. I knew they weren't going to be that good. If you pay attention and you understand stuff, you know what's going to happen. You knew these teams were bad going in. Maybe they've had some early season success due to a soft schedule. But, they're screwed now. So, it's done. Those teams are done. And just forget about them. Forget about them. It's over. I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to come back to bite me as soon as next week. So keep this in the back of your mind. Maybe forget about it as soon as next week, because I don't know how I feel about this. The Detroit Lions are definitely division contenders in the NFC North. That part I'm not going to regret, because Stafford is awesome. The defense is coming along. That secondary is going to be an issue when they start playing the franchise quarterbacks in the NFL. They have one in their division that's the Super Bowl MVP. He is going to light them up if he can get the ball out of his hands before Ndamukong Suh gets a hold of him. But Breeze and all the other guys are going to have a bit of fun with the Lions secondary, you would think. But that pass rush should be enough. So they are division contenders. This is the part that I might regret as soon as next week, because the Lions are going to play the Cowboys. The Detroit Lions are the only team in the NFC that can take Green Bay or New Orleans in a playoff game. Take them. Beat them. Green Bay and New Orleans, I think, are going to meet in the NFC Championship game. I don't see any other team in the NFC that's even a threat. Even a threat. There's one other team that I'm just kind of holding off on. We'll get to that. But the Lions have the quarterback. They have the pass rush. They are really good at protecting Matthew Stafford, something they haven't been the last few years. If that secondary comes along, they will be able to beat the big boys in the NFC and eventually could make that step into Super Bowl contention. Are they there right now? No. But they are the only team outside of Green Bay and New Orleans that has a reasonable shot to go to Indy. And I feel like I'm going to regret that. They look like the real deal. Down 20-0 in Minnesota is no joke. Calvin Johnson is unbelievable. This team looks like the real deal. I am all in on Detroit. I feel like it could come back and bite me because they're going to Dallas next week, and Dallas could be their equal or better than them at quarterback and in the pass rush department. So watch out for that as we go. Wrapping up here, the New York Giants. I left them off for a while because New York, the G-Men, just want to let everybody know I'm paying attention now. They have caught my eye, the Giants. They do a few things well. They do the things well that need to be done well in the league. If Eli Manning can continue to play consistently, I'm watching them. The Giants have caught my attention as a contender more so than I thought they would. So I'm paying attention just to see what you do, and I'll break you down a little bit more in the segments. I am not taking them seriously yet. Hold off on the Giants, but watch them. Keep the Giants in mind, because they are good. How good are they? We will see in the coming weeks and months as this epic NFL season continues to unfold. It's been 3 weeks already, and all the games have been fantastic. So there you go, the NFL in less than 15 minutes. That was awesome. Moving on. We have a Monday night game to break down. It's time to get mad. Monday Night Madness. It's Redskins-Cowboys. How's Tony Romo's ribs going to be? We'll find out next. It's the Ryan Hartson Show on the BWC Network.